and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.
Welcome back, Shimboners. On today's pod, we will be reviewing our men's side for the last time in season 2025 in what was a very promising performance, going down by 13 points to the minor premiers in Adelaide. To help me break it all down, talk about some player performance. Of course, the Basty will be crowned to see who walks away with the most prestigious award in all of the AFL. I've got the big chief here with me. He'll be proud to present it. And Chief, what are your first thoughts after yesterday's game against the Crows?
Oh, thanks, Baz, for the longest intro in the history of the world. That was really good.
Yeah, I get a bit carried away. It was like
Pod's gone for 20 minutes already.
Anyone might not have noticed, but my first question to Ruby Tripodi the other day, which was about a minute and a half. It was 8 questions in one question. I felt a bit bad, but anyway, she handled it beautifully.
She did. Right, biggest takeaway for me is we found one. Trembath.
Oh, hello, welcome. I only said this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but after one performance. Now, we've seen it 3 times. What are 3 threes?
9.
Exactly. He's kicked 9 goals and just presents beautifully.
Only the second player in the AFL era to kick 9 goals in their first 3 games.
Yeah.
There's a stat for you.
Yeah, look, you don't want to go too early, but he's lock. Best 23 for next year.
You don't want to go early, but you've called him a lock.
Well, who's coming in over him?
No, I'm agreeing with you. But
Well, he's locked in.
yeah,
Clarko?
I'm happy with that.
Pay attention. He's finally played a young fella. Look what happens when he plays the young'uns.
I know, I like it.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway.
Hardiman, Trembath.
My biggest takeaway from yesterday's game is that if we can put together 4 quarters, we can beat anyone. I mean, obviously we didn't get the win, but I think yesterday was a proper 4-quarter performance. We didn't give up. Really took it to Adelaide. We smashed them in the contest and the clearance, which you've got some stats that I'll throw to you in a sec, but just a complete buy-in from the playing group. And it was a perfect way to end the season. Obviously, it would have been probably perfect to get the win, but in terms of the way we looked and played, a much better taste in your mouth as you head to pre-season than this time last year, where we had 220-plus losses.
It was a horror. You thought, where is the club going? We can see where they're going. Got some areas to tidy up. I think our connection inside 50 still needs some work. And that was probably the difference in the 2 teams because we beat them in a lot of key stats. Do you want me to go through them?
Yes, please.
Well, the clearances. We're always very good in the clearances, but plus 21.
That's a belting.
That is a belting. And inside 50s, we're always poor in the inside 50s, but we won them 52-48. But as I said, theirs were a lot cleaner and they looked like a top 4 side going inside, whereas we didn't. And quite often, it was due to our own errors more than them forcing the errors. Anyway, I'm probably... this is going to sound strange, but I'm just as happy this week as I was last week.
No, I don't think... Well, I agree. I can see your point of view. Obviously, the win-loss result, but we've backed up a 4-quarter performance last week against Richmond, who, they're about on our level.
Yeah, well, we think we're ahead of them, and we proved it last week. But we were nervous going in because you can mount an argument where they'd match us or beat us.
And then this week, coming up against a formidable opponent in a near fully strength Adelaide side, just missing Rankin and Michelini, but not much compared to what we're missing with Larkey and Zerha and co.
Yep.
But to back it up and put together 4 quarters and really never say die and challenge them right till the end, it's a big tick.
Yeah, no, we could have almost won, couldn't we? Certainly if we cleared up our entries, if JK could actually kick a goal, would have been handy. And maybe if the umpire wasn't yelling from the wing to get to stand when the bloke never stopped. And I'm talking about Foss, that last 50-metre penalty they got a goal from. I mean, he wants the vision. He's 35, 40 metres away. And the crowd's up and about because the game's right on the line. How does he expect the player to know, to hear his little squeaky voice from 30 metres away?
Yeah,
with the crowd up and about. How?
And he kept moving
Answer
back.
Me how?
He can't teleport.
Oh, I know.
Expected him. I just want to talk about someone you just mentioned then, JK. He'd
Yep.
be an all-Australian small forward if he could actually kick.
He had a couple.
He had that one from the top of the goal square. My God, you got to kick that.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, he's got to kick them. He's got to spend the whole pre-season learning how to kick under pressure. I don't want this after training when there's no pressure on, just lacing a few. He's got to train it. Train it under pressure and under fatigue.
And to get into the match notes, that was my first one. Like he started the game, had that one on the run from about 35 out point. You just need to nail those. I want to talk to you about selection first. Why do you think? Try and make sense of this to me because I still can't. Why was Aiden Core picked and playing as full forward?
Okay. Hold. Who's on the watch list? They're both on the watch list. So let's not jump ahead.
All right.
Save that for the watch list.
Righto, okay. Paul Curtis had a great start kicking our first goal. One of our favourites, Colby, he had a shocker on Ben Keys early. He was just... They were looking for Keys, knowing that Colby's not our greatest defender, and he was on fire early.
Can I just say Ben Keys finished... I know how many did he kick?
3, I think.
Yeah, finished them all. I dare say from memory, they were all tougher than JK's.
Yeah, I think so.
And we don't want to bash JK too much, but he got that nice crumb in the goal square, or sort of in front of the points, and we got nothing out of it. We might have got a rush point, maybe. I can't really remember, but a quality small forward from there either kicks a goal, like dodges a couple, or releases a quality handball to someone in space. We couldn't do it.
Yeah. Right, I want to roll through some positives from that first quarter, so just interject when you feel like it, but the Bailey Scott...
That's pretty standard, isn't it?
The Bailey Scott finish from about 50. How good was that?
Well, when we were talking about JK, I was going to say, if Bailey Scott can do it, from 50, he was about 65 out. Give him credit. That was fantastic. I called it. We were watching it together, and I said, this is true. I just had that feeling as he released it.
Bit of vintage B. Scott from when he was finishing top 3 in the Sid Barker.
I was really happy for him, actually. A good moment for him.
Yeah. Someone who probably didn't get a lot of love on the call or from neutrals watching the game, but I thought particularly early, Luke Parker, his body work, just to get little hips in, little checks to create space for Harry or LDU. I think that's the sort of stuff that we really goes under the radar in terms of what he's brought. Like he had another 30-odd again, so we know what he's doing with the ball, but it's those little blocks and checks that he's putting on to free up Harry and LDU that's going really unnoticed. And I thought he was really strong in that first quarter.
Yeah, well spotted, well said. And very similar to what JD brings to the forward line with those little blocks, putting his big shoulders in the way of the next up defender and holding the space for someone like a Trembath or a PC to take the mark.
Correct. Shees, awesome first quarter. I think he had 13 again. I thought we were nearly going to be on 50 watch.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, same.
He was brilliant early. So I mentioned a bit before that some of Colby's early efforts probably weren't up to his standard of what he would like, but he had a great tackle on Tex, where we've seen Tex ragdoll our players for years and years, but he tried to fend him off, and Colby got the tackle and stopped the play, which is a big tick because we know how much of a weapon he is offensively, and this is what ended up with him being on the watch list early in the year. Some of his defensive efforts weren't matching that, but, I mean, you couldn't blame him if he got pushed off by Tex. I mean, he's so much stronger and taller.
300 games more advanced and, 30 kegs heavier.
But I thought that was the moment of the day for Colby. Like, he offers a lot with his rebound and run, but that was a big tick for him from me.
That's good, isn't it?
Good analysis.
But Colby, it's very Australian. He worked his way into it, Colby, and we got that run and drive. But, I mean, Keys has done that to better defenders than Colby. But if you're going to play defence, you've got to defend as well, don't you? Especially when we've got two down there who probably aren't natural defenders in mini helmet.
Yes. Any other positives from that first quarter before we get to the second?
No, my notes. The dog ate my homework. I've got any notes.
Okay. Some negatives, I thought. Griffin Logue, way too much leg rope again. I think it was Fogarty at the time. Just playing way too far off. And it's so frustrating because he plays a good game last week and you just hope he backs it up and just has a few Logue moments, and there's another one we'll
I was going to say, I haven't got my notes, but I can go back to previous games and that'll be in my notes.
Yeah, let's talk about his one later in the game where he took the mark and kicked it off his shin. And it went about 4 metres. So, you just got to laugh.
That's all we can do.
It's a sad reality. LDU was everywhere in that first quarter, but just really let down by foot.
Yes.
And does anyone love potting LDU more than Jared Healy?
No.
And just quickly, shout out to Has MMA, who's on X. I reckon every time we put up for comments, and he's always commenting about how shithouse Jared Healy is. So I agree.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah, so do I.
All right, let's get to the second quarter, and you were pretty happy with Aiden Call giving away a 50 early.
Well, what was it for? He must have mouthed someone, but don't give a... We've got the territory, one. It's in the last line of defence, like right in or beside the goal square, like back to the 9 sort of thing. Next thing he's outside defensive 50, kicking it 50 metres to their forward 50. All because of what? What are you doing, Cor?
Yeah, stupid. And he can't impact the game, so he's got to impact it negatively.
Just so frustrating. We're right in the game, had the territory, forced them a hard kick out, and all of a sudden they're at centre half back with the whole ground open to them. They can go left, right, or up the middle. Just dumb.
I just want to pull you up. You said earlier that Trembath will be a lock. I'm not sure about that. We've got our key forward stocks. We've got Larkey, we've got Jack Darling, and we've got Zach Banch. Because apparently everyone at the club thinks he's 195 centimetres. Because again, yesterday, just kick it long to him.
Look, he finds the space, but he must be the only one left forward of the ball because they just sit it on his head. But he had some really good moments in the second half, didn't he?
We found one. I love him.
Yeah.
I love what he does, his application, his attack. And even when he gets those long high balls, he finds a way to bring them to ground more often than not. It was great to see him kick his first goal as well. Little check side, ba-na-na. And I really like what he can offer, and he could be that tip rat forward.
Yes, well, we had 3 of them we had 4 of them in the team, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, one was a sub. But
but in the team. So you'd think that's going to be cut dramatically when we get our troops back to probably 1, maybe 2, maybe 1 as a sub, although I think we'll go through this postseason, but I think the sub rule will be scrapped.
I anticipate that as well. Some other notes from the second quarter. I thought Caleb Daniel had some really good defensive efforts. Yeah. We've been happy to raise them when they haven't been great. So I just wanted to give him.
Well, we try and be balanced.
Yeah.
But you said very early on in this pod, we're not going to cop beatings or being 16th or below on the ladder and sit here and tell you everything's right.
Exactly.
We're not going to, Dennis Pagan, we're not going to piss on your back and tell you it's raining.
Dylan Stevens, what a first half he had.
Yes, very good. And the only knock on his first half was the very last kick he had. Must have come off his ankle or something because he just had to be a miss kick. He was on his right, his non-preferred foot, but it was still horrendous back to the corridor 30 metres out, and they have a set shot, which luckily they missed because it would have been very draining, demoralising on the... I still butchered it. On the,
move on.
Yeah, we'll move on quickly. On the team, wouldn't it go after the siren, but luckily they missed.
Right, last positive I've got.
But he was really good. I don't want to gloss over him because he can be a whipping boy as well. But he was really good in that first half. Really, really good.
Yeah, finishing on his left.
Finishing up in the... he was in the votes at half-time.
Yeah, bit of a preview for the listeners who might not be there at the end.
Let's
talk about Big X, because he had a bone-crushing tackle.
Talk about the votes.
Because the best way to sum up that second quarter, I think, was that we won the contest. We smashed them in the contest, but we got killed on turnover. Far too often, if I can put a sentence out, we would turn the ball over at about our half-forward line, and Adelaide would rebound and score. But we'll touch on that in a minute. Let's talk about Big X, and particularly his first half.
Did he have 6 or 8 tackles in the second quarter alone?
I can get that up.
I think I heard that when I was watching the highlights or something. But he was enormous all day. And while you're looking that up, an interesting thing about X, and I'd like to go back and watch the last time he played Riley O'Brien, Adelaide. He took a run up and jumped, rather than crossing the line, getting the body and just them wrestling. And I wonder if that was as a preview to when they changed the rule back for next year. He's had a little pre-season type workout with it to work it out. Did you notice that?
I did.
Both ruckmen ran and jumped at the ball. And that's another rule that they're going to change.
Yeah.
So, and I thought that rule may hurt him because he's just, no one can out wrestle him. But he was still able to get hands to the ball, and more importantly, was best part of his game is his follow-up work and crunching tackles. Have you found the stat?
Yeah, he had 6.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And he had 5 in the last as well when we were coming home.
Well, there's no give up in him. That's why he's the captain of the CCC. And he may get another prestigious accolade later in the pod.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
I don't know who you voted for, but I'll tell you what.
I did.
I'll be watching keenly to see if he polls.
I didn't take many notes for the second half. Sort of invested in the game.
This happens every week.
Well,
I think the listeners know we're up and about in the first, and we're writing with the pen, mate, a lot. Too often it's negative stuff. And then, the second half, we get a bit of RSI on the hand, don't we?
Well, far too often we're out of games at half time. Especially in the second half of the year. So we were in it. Didn't take a lot, but I did note that 4 times in a row from leaving our D50, we kicked it long and high to bench.
Yes. If only you were 6'6".
Can we get a public service announcement to the 23 at Clarko and everyone at the club that he's not 6'6"? Please.
Well, he finds that he knows where the ball's going to go and he gets there. But, everyone else is probably plugging holes in defence to be, not just making light of it. He's the deepest forward is a forward pocket, and unfortunately that's where it ends up. But credit to him, he does fight hard, and even if he gets outmarked, it's because of his lack of height more than his lack of endeavour.
I thought he found really good space on the outer wing and high half forward where he'd take a couple of bounces, and his use inside 50 was pretty good as well. Like I'm big on Zach Banch, and full pre-season, same as Cooper Trembath in the AFL system, and I think they can both solidify themselves in the 23. I mean, Trembath's obviously further advanced than Banch in terms of his position in the side, but I'm big on Banch, and I read today that there's rumours that he's going to get a 1-year deal, so that's a great
I like it.
Great
good
reward for him.
Yes. And Trembath, I mean, average 3 goals. What's Larky average?
Oh, probably 2.
Yeah. So there's no way. That's why he's a lock.
Yeah. But he got one that he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Because they look the same.
We'll get to that. Yeah, well, they do. We'll explain it. PC took a great mark, and they gave it to Trembath.
Yeah.
And it was easy and there was an Adelaide player in the middle of them who they could have played it to as well. But on the replay, it was clearly PC's mark, and Trembath he really had no play on it till the whistle blown. Then he's ended up with it, and he slobbed it, more importantly.
Well, let's talk about PC. What about that huge gravity talk? I think it was the last quarter. Just sort of floated across the pack, strong jukes, and
that's when we're coming.
Yeah.
Coming hard. Yeah. And that 50, which we won't go on about too much, but that just killed the momentum, and of course they got a goal out of it, just put it beyond reach with the time remaining.
You wouldn't think, if you were to say at the start of the season, we'd kick 100 points against the minor premiers without Larky and Zerha, you'd be laughed at.
Tell them you're dreaming.
Yeah, which is a great sign. Our forward line looks really dangerous. Like, just the talent coming through. The midfield, we know how stacked that is. And, like, in the off-season, we're going to have to try and address some of the backline issues.
Well, yeah, and some of the midfields transitioning to defence, which they won't have to do if they can actually finish their work with a bit of polish. But, no one goes at 100%. Even the good teams have turnovers. But we can't defend the turnover. That's the problem.
We've spoken about...
And our back line, because it is our weakest line, like just the 6, they can't defend a half-decent entry, if you know what I mean. Like, really good back lines can still harbour a quick turnover, whereas we can't.
No.
And because we're assertive and there's no pressure, it doesn't help.
And we've spoken about our midfield group. We've definitely found the right mix now in the last sort of month, and... someone we haven't mentioned yet, but I thought George Wardlaw had another great game. Just full at a gate.
He's awesome. He's awesome, George. And his ball use, and since he went off with his concussion, he's come back. His ball use has been really, really good. Where it has had question marks because he's so 100% frenetic and rushed, maybe, with his disposal. But he's lowering his eyes and hitting those little inside, 30 metre kicks into the forward 50, which is fantastic, rather than just a big long dump kick, which too many of our players do.
Yeah, and the wings
To an undersized forward line. We haven't got like the Adelaide, the three-headed monster,
or the doggies.
or the doggies, or the four-headed, or even the Hawks now have got a tall forward line. But yeah, it's probably something we've all, even with Larky there, we're not a contested marking long high ball forward line.
No.
So anyway, George is learning to lower his eyes, and as soon as a few others do, we'll be much better. But I think our forward line has overperformed this year. But we'll get that to in our reviews of the year.
Yeah, and the wing setup looks great as well. The captain, again, 33 yesterday off the wing. Disco Stevens had 22 and kicked 2 goals. So we're getting a lot more output from our wingers.
Yeah. Well, I reckon, how long have we been doing the pod? How many episodes are we up to?
Well, I think it's 138, the Tristan Sherry episode today, I think.
Well, how fitting. But I reckon I've and you have been calling for Jai to be on the wing for most of those episodes.
Correct.
Because we've got so many midfielders. And he's got the tank, holds his width, leave him there. Unless we get injuries and he has to go in, or the midfield's just getting flogged. But if everything's going reasonably, leave him on the wing because he's really, really good.
Agreed. One last note I want to mention before we go to the Basty, a bit of a light-hearted one. But I'm right. Chom can't play forward because even when he gets an opportunity, he cannot kick for goal.
It's always been a knock on him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I agree.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Using that logic, we've got a small forward
Yeah, I know.
who does the same thing.
I know. Right.
And that's going to be a knock on him, and he's got the pre-season to tidy it up. Right. Now, we're here. The end of the year. It's tightened right up, but it's time for the votes in the most prestigious award in all of the AFL, the Basty.
Right, just to remind our listeners, last year, Harry Sheasel won.
Yes, defending champion, if you like.
He was. He beat LDU in second and Big X, who finished third.
And then it was daylight to next.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it was.
It was.
Well, you probably don't remember off the top of your head, but Harry, all of those three had over 100 votes. And we're not even up to 100 yet, are we?
No.
And that's obviously the same.
Well, I can tell you now, no one got 100 this year.
Okay, so that's how big a gap it was from the top three. Anyway.
Go up. Go ABC style.
All right, we're going one vote. Am I going?
Yep.
I've given it to... This is pretty hard. I'll go the unluckies first. Unlucky for me was Stevens. Like, he was definitely right up there in the first half. Probably fell off a little bit. Georgie boy, just his attack on the ball, and love him. Love the way he goes about it. Parker had another 30. Did all the 1%ers like you were talking about, kick to goal. I couldn't get him in. And PC was incredibly unlucky. And we try not to make it a midfielders award, so we don't look at the stats. We just do it on the feel of the game. And then we may look at the stats to maybe justify what we've done, but I've done this on the feel of the game straight after watching it. I've given one to Cooper Trembath. It's probably almost a bit of a cumulative effect. You kick 3 against the best defender, arguably, in the league for the GWS.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Sam Taylor.
And you kick 3 when the most experienced, or not the most experienced because JD is, but Zerha goes off early and he stands up and kicks 3 against Richmond in a game, our grand final, the game we had to win. And then he kicks 3 and gives a couple off, and that chase down tackle in the goal square with the review, which was pinched off him by Tommy Powell.
Yeah,
because he socketed it from about 20 centimetres out. But fair enough, he had to do that because that's a certain goal. But there's another one he could have got, and it probably makes up for the one he stole off PC. So another three goal effort, and looks dangerous, leads out hard, crunches packs, great hands, and yeah, one vote for him. Just the longest Basty ever, but there's a big finish coming. I've given 2 to Foss. I thought he wins contests. Like and his ball use is good, but he wins contests. He's a proper defender in the fact that he's not the run-off, which you need. He's not the designated user. So he beats his man, then he gets the ball, and then I think you told me he went at 100%.
You did. And I'm trademarking untackleable because that's what
Yeah,
he is.
he's untackleable, and he makes good decisions. Not necessarily the first decision. He finds the best option is what I'm saying. Not necessarily the first option. I'll give him 3 to Jai. We spoke about his work on the wing, 30 plus or something. Give him space. He just Jai steps round everyone, round his opponent, and then he's got time for better use. I can't remember him having a real howler since he's been on the wing.
No.
He probably has, but he's minimised them.
Tell you what, he loves the left foot.
He's very safe on the left, isn't he?
Probably safer on the left than the right, to be honest.
A knock on his game, Jai, because we're trying to be balanced. There were a couple of times we were watching and Colby had kicked it to him, then looped round on his left boundary side for the handball, and Jai hasn't given it to him. I reckon at least 3 times he did that. Then Jai's had to go back and kick over the mark, and he's ended up kicking down the line anyway. So if he gives it to Colby, he'll run that extra 10, 15 metres and get over. It'll be a one-on-one down there rather than a slower play when Jai has to go back over the mark and the ruckman gets to come across, and it's just
because they're set up for
contest.
that 40 to 50 metre kick.
Yeah, and Colby can also, if there's someone in the corridor, he'll hit them. So he's got to give that handball. I don't understand why he didn't. He did it 2 or 3 times. LDU was fantastic. Ball use early was a bit off. I mean, we're going to hear about the no left-hand handball from Gerard Healy probably for the next 10 years. It cost us a goal because he tried to do the outside of the right hand and got turned over. But apart from that, he was very good. And he's so dynamic.
Send him to Cunnington's farm over the off-season.
Well, Cunnington's only handballed with one hand, but he never missed a target.
Yeah, exactly.
And he handballed left hand.
When he was right-handed.
Yeah. Anyway, LDU, fantastic. Big finish to the year for him. And my 5 votes, which I actually predicted last week, but there's no denying he was our best player on the ground. And for mine, he was best on ground for both teams.
Agreed.
Yeah. You can go through his stats. I don't look at the stats. The feel of the man. Then the crunching tackle on there.
It may feature in mine, so I'll go through the stats.
On Dawson, their captain, just put him on his ass. And it'll be interesting whether he got a sling tackle. Saligo slung him into the ground. They've featured on a couple of the footy shows.
It's finals. They won't get a week. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, how will they sook it up? But he did play on, obviously. But, I mean, it was far worse than PC's 3-week tackle.
Agreed. The outcome.
It's all outcome-based because PC's the bloke got a concussion.
Unless you're LDU and you get elbowed in the head by Richards. Anyway, this is the
Too
Basty.
much.
Right, I'm going to get into my votes. So the 1 vote I gave to Cooper Trembath. You've summarised it perfectly. 2 votes I gave to LDU. I think he only went by 20-odd% by foot, so that hurts him a little bit. But so dynamic. You can't sort of question the fact that he's our most dynamic midfielder and he bursts away. So
because he bursts away, that 20%, at least it's a 60, 70 metre play, isn't it? Like it's a long way from the centre.
The 3 votes I gave to a bloke you've not mentioned in your sorries either. Apologies. But Harry Sheasel went all right, I thought, yesterday at 32. Went out of the game a little bit in the second half, but he's just so classy and getting a lot more footy in the corridor, which we love to see as he links up or hits good targets.
Yeah, I apologise to Harry. He's definitely... I've just written him in now. He's in my apologies.
The 4 votes I gave to Jai. I thought he was magnificent playing on that wing. You've played a pretty solid game if the main critic is that you haven't given a couple of handballs to
that's right.
to a half back. And then the 5 votes I've given to the winner of the 2025 Ryan Bastinac Player of the Year Award, Tristan Sherry. 25 disposals, 12 tackles, 7 clearances, 9 score involvements. He did it all. He was magnificent. He flogged Rob. Rob will be running away for about the next 5 years from him like he did in round 3. But he's our winner of the Basty, which funnily enough, just to go on a little story. So when North play Brisbane this year, our man Basty has the Brews with Basty Cup, which is his page where he shares reviews on drinks.
Yep.
And he won that, the Big X. So he's taken home the Basty double this year.
And did he lead? No, Harry last year led from start to finish. I don't know if X did because I don't know what we voted him in round 1, but I'd suggest for at least from about round 2 he probably led. And they chased him down late, but then how did he respond with a perfect 10?
Exactly. So let's get to the top 10. So in 10th place, we had Riley Hardiman on 24 votes. Pretty handy seeing he only played about half the games. In 9th place, Cam Zurha on 28 votes. In 8th place, Paul Curtis, 35 votes. In 7th place, Nick Larkey on 39 votes. In 6th place, Jai Simpkin on 40 votes. 5th place, Luke Parker on 48. Can count himself unlucky not to poll in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
4th place, LDU on 57 votes. In 3rd place, Colby McKercher on 77 votes. In 2nd place, Harry Sheasel on 79 votes. And our winner, Tristan Sherry, finished on 93 votes.
Well done, Big X, my man. They're all my men, but he's the captain.
And well done to Colby from going from the watch list to finishing 3rd.
Yes, and he was probably another one. He played reasonably well yesterday. Certainly still gave that drive, even though he had a couple of goals kicked on him early. Could have easily gone into his shell. I think his defensive work's improved.
Keys played a negating role on him.
Yes.
And just a quick note, I'm sick of... Why did we go back to Caleb Daniel kicking in again? Did we not learn last week that we've got to get him in the ball?
He's got to have
the ball 50 out from our defensive goal.
He's got to distribute from half back through the centre, not from the back pocket or the last line of defence. Anyway, that's something Clarko got right last week, but yeah, went back to old habits. But hopefully when we get Hardiman back in the team, he can take more kickouts.
Agreed. Right, let's get to the watch list for the last time this year. Just a reminder, we're going to change it up this year. So if you're on the watch list, it carries over to next year. There's no reset like we did this year, so a big look at who's left.
Okay. For the last time this year, the watch list contains Bailey Scott. Gee.
I thought he was okay. I'm gonna suggest a dash.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say he was good enough for a tick.
That goal was pretty crucial. Was that our first goal of the day?
No, second maybe.
Yeah, but it was certainly
they'd
crucial.
gotten out to a 2 or 3 goal lead.
That's right. So yeah, I'm happy with the dash. Big Griff Lowe got a tick last week.
Not getting one this week.
No, I'll give him a cross.
Yep.
I'd like to say another big difference in the game was obviously their key forwards beat our key defenders. But I think Toby Pink and Chom had moments, like took some good marks, had moments, but overall we couldn't control their 3 tools.
That's fair.
Okay, moving right along. Kaur gets across. I don't know what he did. Now, why was he picked? Why was he picked at full forward?
I've no idea. Tell me why we played him over Whitlock.
Well, you had a theory that it was his farewell game.
Well, that was the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, he's hit triggers for a contract for next year.
We only played about 50% game time in the VFL last week, so it didn't make sense to me.
Has he ever played forward ever?
Not at North, and I don't recall him ever playing forward at the Giants.
No, neither do I. So, and I don't know his stats, but
I've seen some people say, he played a negating role on Keane, but he wasn't even matched up on him most of the time. So I don't. It's baffling to me. I would have rather see Finbar or Whitlock or literally anyone.
Dawson.
Else. Yep, would have rather shotgun down there. It does make sense to me. Anyway.
Right.
No doubt there will be plenty more opportunities.
So if he did play
about it.
on Keane had one of his poorer games, so that could have been why.
Yeah.
But it doesn't help when you give away a stupid 50 for... It must have been mouthing. Because it didn't look like he'd encroached on the mark.
He doesn't mind a bit of lip.
Well, having said that, it could have been another player giving it away. But mostly it's the person on the mark. The North Roys.
Nah, they're staying on there.
Well, they're engraved.
Yeah.
But I just want to mention them. And you see James Gallagher has left North to go to the Players Association. Now, in his little bio they put up on the club website, it said he was head of legal.
Yeah, we got comments on the socials from listeners asking, Does this mean that they're off the watch
Well,
list?
Basty's out of the club, so that's a tick. If he's had illegal, they've had a horror year.
A horror year. They've had a horror
And
6, 7, 8
Players
years.
Association, there'll be no buys and there'll be no pay rise if he's run the show, because he couldn't run the bloody legal defence for North. So yeah, good, get rid of him. And poor old players, yeah,
You get nothing.
You get nothing if he's running the show. Fisher's still injured, or he's finished, so he carries on or carries over to next year.
Yes. Be interesting to see.
He hasn't had a chance to get himself off because you've got to be playing seniors.
Bit of noise about West Coast now,
Good,
potentially.
good.
Just keep an eye on that one.
Okay. So straight swap him and Harley.
Yeah.
Okay. All these others are off. JK is still on. Now, this is interesting because he actually had a pretty good game. His pressure was good.
Gets in the right spot.
Gets in the right spots, but can't finish. So I'll give him a dash. You need to be able to finish, don't you?
That's fair. I'm
Even
happy
if
with
he
that.
only kicks, if he kicks 2-2, he gets a tick.
Well, I
He
think
can't kick none 3.
I think-
And one where he's got it 10 metres out and he can't
Yeah.
dance around someone to put it through.
the perfect way to sum it up: tick for his defensive efforts, cross for his offense, which results in a dash.
Yes. Well summed up. Tommy Power. Well, you go.
He's a cross.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I'll further elaborate. There's plenty of listener questions about Tommy, so I'll further elaborate a bit later on.
Yeah, and we've already taken Cal Dawson and Bryn Teagle off because we've cut them.
I'll be gobsmacked if they're on the list
Yeah,
in
so will I.
2026.
Well, I actually called Teagle back when we were outside Home Street in the pre-season. Do you remember?
You did, and
Live, and you thought he'd come. They were in the gym. You thought he'd come out and sort me out.
we're doing an Instagram live to tell the full story, and John was watching it, and they were in the gym. They had the doof doof music
Yeah.
going, and you've pretty much said that he's no chance to be on the list next year in February.
Yeah,
well, no, it was November. It was November
Yeah, it
last
was
year.
November. Yeah.
And I thought Big Test might come out and flatten you.
They might want a live debate.
Yeah. Anyway,
And you could look that up, but
it
unfortunately...
wouldn't save. I don't know what I had
It
to
wouldn't say, so it's gone. But I remember. Anyway, that's it for the watch list.
So who remains next
Oh, the
year?
selectors.
Oh, nah, Cross. Where are they? You couldn't have got them off. They've only got one tick.
obviously haven't written them down. So the selectors...
Yeah, they'll get a cross.
We gave them a tick last week.
You gave everyone a tick last
Yeah,
week.
well, you win, you get ticks. How many female... We haven't got a watch list for the AFLW because they just don't lose.
Well,
Winning covers up a lot of cracks.
can we... I wanted to put the North Lloyds straight on the AFLW watch list just in case someone gets suspended. But we'll deal with that if it happens to come. But
Well, hopefully they've got a different set of lawyers, but I doubt it. Yes, okay, so the selectors, they got a tick last week, but they're getting a cross because of the core. And I suppose, why'd they play 4 small forwards?
well, I don't mind it. So Harvey's not a bad sub because he can play either end.
Yeah. But still, they could have played... Well, Whitlock probably didn't deserve another game. He's only young.
Oh, that's harsh.
No, after last week. So they've gone small.
Hang on.
I thought
Do you
Dawson
think,
might
do you
have come
think
in.
Whitlock deserved to play more than Core?
That's a very good point by you. And yes, he did.
Thank
Because
you.
I'd rather Whitlock get another game into him than a game into Core playing full forward.
Exactly. Thank
If
you.
you're going to play Core, play him back and throw Chom forward, even though we don't want him forward, but someone who... Anyway, we'll move on from the watch list.
Right, the True Shimbona Award. Have
I'm
you got
going-
any nominations?
Yes, Cooper Trembath for the chase down tackle. I'm sure everyone's watched the game and seen it. Just fantastic. And it's the second time he's done it. He did one, obviously, with Big Clarko. Thought, who's that?
Yeah.
Well, if you played, maybe if you paid attention at training, watched the VFL a couple of games, Clarko, you'd know who it was. But he probably thought it was PC, to be fair, because he does look a lot like PC.
Yeah,
But that chase down tackle was fantastic, and that's what we want. I think he brings pressure from the little glimpse we've seen on him, 3 games, and we know PC does, and your man the Bull can when he's switched right on. So we've got some capable forwards who are very offensive but can also bring the defence.
Yeah, agreed. Let's get into the listener questions, the People's Pod. So we'll start on Instagram with DaveOC24. This question's been asked, I reckon, at least 25 times in different ways, so we'll try and umbrella it all. Tom Powell, where does he fit? Looks lost at half forward.
Yeah, he was good last week against Richmond at half forward.
Yeah,
Agreed?
Yeah, he had a stinker yesterday.
Yeah, so you're allowed to have a stinker, but the worry with Tom Powell, and we'll brackets Will Phil in as well, is that our two, when we drafted them, two highly regarded players from what's probably been a bit of a dog of a draft, to be fair, but first round picks, and they're both, stagnated, and they're both not in our best midfield.
If you go through that whole draft,
Max Holmes is
the first round, I think, was that Thilthorpe
yeah.
as well?
Well, we didn't have we couldn't pick him.
Yeah, I reckon from pick 3 to about 18, Powell's the best player.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's
But Will Phil probably not being on the list next year. Well, we're calling it, aren't we? That he won't be there, unfortunately. And just on Will Phil, the AFLW girls played today and had a good win, and we'll review that in a separate pod. But Will Phil was there in the Guard of Honour, big smile, clapping. He's such a great clubman.
This is why it hurts me.
It hurts me. And going back to him, his under-17 year, he played the same club as Matt Rowell, the grass eater. And he had better stats as a first-year 17-year-old. So you can't knock Brady for picking him. And then obviously COVID wiped out his whole 18 year. And obviously
that whole draft has an asterisk next to it.
Yeah.
Look at Exeter, they went 0 for 3.
Yeah, but you can't knock Brady for picking him, in my humble opinion. But unfortunately, just for whatever reason, he hasn't come on.
Yeah, and to answer the question, I don't think he can play half forward. I think wing.
Who?
But
Tommy.
Powell.
We're back on Tom.
I like him on a wing, but Stevens and Simpkins seem to have that. Half back, I like him there as well, whether he can fit in there. So it'll be interesting.
But half forward's hard. Why was Colby on the watch list? Who ended up third in the Basty and has been a massive rising star.
Yeah, I agree. It's the hardest position
because he was playing half forward.
Especially in a horrific forward line. Well, sorry, horrific system, which it was early.
And I think, Colby's got a gold star because second year player, he shouldn't go on the watch list, and I must have had a weak moment to let you put him on.
No, he wasn't on there for his form. It was for his efforts. Yeah. Defensive efforts where he wasn't applying himself to his best ability. Okay. That's a nice way of putting it. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to the next one. Bloody Bartos says, not a question, but stoked about that turn up. Fired up for the next season. Love me, Kangas.
Yeah.
I love that. Positivity into it.
Love it. I said at the start, we're both pretty positive about that game.
Andy _Dools, how do you rate the season overall, and what is a pass mark for next year?
Right. Well, we're going to do. Can I let it drop?
You can.
The plan is, and Frog, if you're listening, this is the first you're hearing about it, but we're going to rate every player live, and obviously we'll do the season as well, and we'll have a discussion between you, me, and the Frog.
Yeah. So we're going to throw the gradings out. And it's just going to be
well, we might still grade, but we'll go through our thought process and discussion, a bit like match committee, and then we'll come up with maybe a C, a D, an A, whatever. And no doubt there'll be differences of opinion because we all see the game a bit differently.
Mark Loves Beer says, did Big X secure the B&F with yesterday's game? What are your top fives for the B&F? Well, doing it off the top of my head's a bit hard, but...
I'll just roll off the Basty. B&F, right? I think the way they vote, I'm pretty sure, is all the coaches give marks out of 4 or 5. 5 to 1. They can as many players as they like for every game. So Harry played every game, wasn't up to his standard of last year, but was still very high. I mean, he's finished second in the most prestigious. So... he'll be right up there. I think X has got it 1. The Clarko loves X, but he's only one of the voting coaches. But missing those 3 games, the North Royals, he may have taken to the Players Association his Sid.
And his All-Australian jacket.
And his All-Australian jacket. So I think it's between those two. And I think Colby will probably podium, but I think Clarko doesn't rate the half-back flank user as maybe as highly as a big bustling ruckman, bruising ruckman. That's just my opinion. And going off where Colby finished last year? Because he had a pretty good year last year.
Oh, he was top 5.
But then you could counter-argument that when Harry won in his first year. But mind you, the competition wasn't that great.
No. Kevin Frost 59 says, is
Sorry,
there anything else you want to put on that?
Well, only that Harry was playing the half-back. That's why I'm just caveating that it can be done under Clarko.
Kevin Frost 59.
Although, hang on, I've got to caveat it again. Clarko was away with his mental health for half of that year as well.
Yes.
I'm going to let you ask the question now. I've been interrupted 3
Kevin
times.
Frost, he's got 3 name drops because you can't. Do we recruit Clarko? Talking up the list, sounds like we may not have had many players interested. Well, we've got that offer in front of Windhager.
Yep.
This is more sort of for another pod, but there's plenty of chat around Zane Dersma and a few other names that we'll discuss at length a little bit more, but it'll be interesting to see how active we are in that space because we should be making phone calls to all the key defenders that are available.
Yeah. Well, I think that
Minus Lee Kalir. Put a big line through him. JD gave him a bath.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I think it's paying too much for him anyway. He had one good game, which was in a final against Geelong, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which obviously, got everyone talking, but he hasn't been consistent with that. And he can't even get a game full time for them.
Next one, Miss Jane. Realistically, what's our ceiling for next year? Well, Adelaide went from 15th to 1st.
Yep.
And I think we've got all the pieces in place outside of the defence. If we can tidy the defence up, another pre-season, another 16 kegs into the big shotgun.
Yep.
And he'll be getting plenty of sort of CCC traits. He's often out fishing with the big X, so you'll be toughening him up as well.
We
Don't
win
you
the
worry
clearance.
about that.
Yeah, we win the clearances. So our midfield, which we've always spruiked and has been disappointing because of their probably lack of ability to defend or ability to hit targets, which then turns it into a turnover they have to defend. So they can sharpen up their ball use. I think if Trembath maintains what he's doing now, we get Larky back, we get Zerha back, we're going to have a very multi-pronged forward line.
We will.
Aren't we? I mean, PC kicked 38 for the year after missing 4. Well, he'd been very close to 50.
Yeah.
We tipped him, I think, to get 40. So he's probably over-exceeded what we thought.
Just if anyone's interested.
And that's in a team that averages about 33 inside 50s for most of the year.
For anyone who's interested, Nick Larkey won our goal kicking with 41 this year.
Yeah, and what did Bull get?
30. I think he kicked 38 as well.
Yeah.
So that's a good return from those 3.
Yeah.
Particularly seeing PC and Sylv missed quite a few games.
The missing piece is a defensive small forward who can hit the scoreboard.
Here's a question about... To answer the question, I think we can make the 8 next year if we fix it up. And I don't want to see Logan the starting 23 next year. You hope a Dawson or a Whitlock or someone like that can grab that spot to accompany Chom. Pink probably starts as well. So the system's got to be better.
Yeah, another pre-season. Yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I'm always very optimistic. But we've certainly... Previous question, which we didn't really answer because we're going to do that on another pod. We have improved this year.
RJ_Judd, have we finally found Larky's dance partner in Trembath, or do you think he'll be a third tall? I think he'll be a third tall. He's only 193, although his leaps.
Got a good leap.
Bit of the
Got a
Timmy
good
memories.
physique.
Bit of the double foot jump.
His goal kicking's, I think, improved. I mean, him coming, we'll get to this in another pod, but it probably puts Finbar under a bit of pressure now that he's come on and grabbed that. And Clarko basically said he only played because of Larky. Well, Clarko, all these young blokes, how about you give them a crack?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
you unearthed
you can't. Well, he's unearthed him. Hardiman, we were banging on to get Hardiman into the team. Geordie Payne, but he probably hasn't. He got subbed out yesterday. Played pretty well down at Belrive last week.
Next up, we've got our Lip Trop, who says, Daniel went back too deep again and looked average again, running himself into pressure and coughing it up. Well, what he did do again, he did that where he zips out to the right and runs back to the left, kicks off his left and gets himself in trouble.
Yeah.
We seemed to eradicate this problem last week and then just go straight back into it again.
Obviously, a high quality opposition,
But
still,
it's easily manageable. You don't have him kick it in.
I know. Yes, I agree. But maybe who took the kick-ins? He and Colby.
Yeah.
Did anyone else take any? That's why we need Hardiman back so he can take some. Although they're very reluctant to give him that duty, but maybe over the pre-season that's something they can throw his way.
Fire through a lot here, Chief. Horace, why is the forward line functioning better without Larky right now?
Got more options maybe than just kick it on his head.
Yeah, and we're bursting out of the midfield better, the link's better, and we're lowering our eyes.
And we're getting more inside 50s, so that's the main thing, because you can't function when it's not in there.
Right, now we've had the piss taken here, but sometimes you need a bit of comedic relief. Tim DeLuca, is Griffin Logue a chance of being captain next year?
Yes.
Shining Light XL, won't even let you answer that. He says, Jai was a superstar, must have played plenty of games sore before his injury because in his return from last week and today, he's been sensational.
Yeah, I agree. We saw him live and he's working, holds his width, which all wingers do. He does it really well. And now we're getting it out to him with George in there, aren't we?
Yes, here's your favourite account, the George, Tom and Harry Show. Do you agree that Bench and JK Smart start as small forwards in round one? And then he also says that Payne needs to develop and stay. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm worried about Payne, and I think it's the Tassie tax.
The Tassie tax?
Yeah.
Discuss.
Oh, I think because Tassie coming in 2 years' time, and they're all about even, aren't they? Well, JK's obviously ahead, but he's got the flaws that we've discussed enough. I think Payne looks good. But we've got 2 list spots we've got to get rid of. So we're going to develop Payne for 2 years.
Well, do we have to get rid of them?
And then
has there been a decision made on?
Well, I think they expire.
Well,
it's like your milk in the fridge.
We finished bottom 3 again, so maybe we could get freaking
Jen,
Sonia, whoever, someone,
Viney. Let's go to the AFL and at least keep that, because I think I don't think we're going to go into the next year with all 3 of them. No. And we've already signed Robbie Hanson Jr., which maybe no sense they probably jumped the gun.
Yeah.
So
old Colin Young, he was in town and said, here we go, sign this. Brody, okay, is this the same one for Logue? I'll sign that as well.
And we've got Coop as well. So I think with Payne, like if Tassie was starting a team next year, he'd be on the list.
I think
I think even if they cut him, he'll probably go and play SANFL or something and still get on a list for Tassie, because Tassie will try and get Taswegians back.
I think he'll get cut and rookied.
I hope so. I mean, I like him, but I just think it's just the others aren't from Tassie, whereas even if they keep him on a 1-year deal and then sign him for another 1 year, he'll probably end up going back to Tassie anyway, because instead of paying him a base rate, they'll be able to pay him like a superstar, like Griff Logue. They'll be able to give him his sort of wage, 500, 600, 700.
There's another comment here from the George, Tom and Harry Show. He says, the 26 VFL will be the most experienced side since 1989. Logue, Daniel, Fisher and Call.
I think Clarko loves Daniel.
Yeah.
I can't see him in the VFL. I mean, I can. If I was chief selector, I wouldn't be afraid to put him in there, but I don't think Clarko will.
Has MMA, this is the man I was mentioning before, Chief. Who was worse, the umps or Jared Healy? Well, we actually won the free kick yesterday, first time all year.
G. Healy, 3 votes.
Yeah. North Nuffy, where are we going to finish on the ladder next year after witnessing that offensive performance? I'm going 7th. We'll be at the 8. Don't worry about that. Stay tuned.
Top 4.
There'll be plenty of winning pods. But most of them will be the W.
Yeah. Anyway. No, I think we should bump. And it's got to be from within. So we can't have, the Bailey Scott effect. We've got to keep improving. Whereas Bailey Scott actually just fell off, didn't he?
I want to say thank you to everyone who's sending in the questions. We've had so many all year, and your continued support's been fantastic. But I've just got to reiterate how many questions were about. Tom Powell, thoughts? And that blew up from our man, the North Merchant, who puts up great training videos and intel from training. So plenty of discussion there. We've sort of mentioned Tommy already. And then, again, more questions about what was the point in playing Call.
I don't
If you
understand.
find
If
out,
someone's
send
got
it
an
in, 'cause
answer,
I've got no idea.
I've got no idea either what the thought was, other than was he a defensive on Keane? And if so, do we really need to worry about Keane that much?
No, we don't.
Do we? I mean, I don't think so.
No.
Where's the future? Are we going to play a 6 foot, 194 type as a defensive
What other teams do that?
forward?
No.
Yeah, none. So get another game into Whitlock, game into Dawson, something.
Dave Walland, how long can Cooper keep up his 3 goals per game average? Puts Larky's first game to shame, and he turned out to be all right. Sherry is a beast, should be All-Australian. Well, bloody oath
Absolutely
he should be,
should.
but he won't even make the squad. That's a joke.
Well, I've been around long enough to see players who have missed a lot more than 3 games
Well, the Bont will make it.
still make the All-Australian.
The Bont missed the first 5 or 6 weeks. He'll make it.
And if you rewind back to early in the year, he top 5 in the champion data. Not that it's all about stats, but
Pretty sure he still is.
yeah. And you can mount a case for a lot of things. I mean, what's Gorm got over him is he's going kick behind the play and taking marks. But what X has got over every other ruckman is his work around the stoppages and his actually clearances himself and his tackles. So you miss 3 games. Wow. It's a 23-game season. It's the longest the football's ever gone for. He's played, I don't know what 3 out of 23 is quickly, but it's well over, I'd say, 85% or something of the games. So anyway, we know there's no love for North. But talking about Vloston being in the All-Australian side. Now, he probably deserves to be. I haven't watched nearly enough of Richmond. But whenever we finish bottom 2, no, you can't
Bobby
get
Tarrant,
in.
Ben Brown.
Yeah, you can't get in because you're a bottom 2 side. Unless you're Max Gawn. He got in when they were bottom 2.
That's because he's doing the Telstra ads.
No, but yeah, should he be in? Yes. Am I biased? Absolutely. But I think, a non-biased person who watched every game
Well, people
would say
neutrals thought he should be in last year.
It's like PC, the under 22. I don't even want to talk about that, even though I brought up. And you know why? Because it's fan based. So it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
So how do you expect other people to even know who PC is?
I know. Rod Herman, to move on. What's your thoughts on Simpkin? That's his spot, hard back and creating run. I couldn't agree more, Rod.
2 years. 2 years we've been calling for it.
Yep.
Ever since we've drafted 900 midfielders. I thought Jai's got the tank and the knowledge and the step to get out there on his own.
Matt Bates, do you guys think it's possible that next year we could go close to what Adelaide have achieved?
Yes.
Remembering they finished 15th.
Yeah, we probably
hang on. He's put pretty much what we've said. Definitely need some big defenders. Logan Core aren't the answer. Lots of skill practice in the preseason, but I can see the direction we're heading in. Couldn't agree more. Great analysis.
It'd be nice to get a B grade player in, like Starcevic. Just be nice. Or Windhager.
The Starcevic, I'm on the no train. I'm in the small selection because I'm just petrified. One more and he's done. One more concussion.
Yeah, okay. But he's still going to be an improvement.
I agree, but that's the big worry, isn't it?
Yeah, but what are you worried about?
Him getting another concussion, signing on a 5-6 year deal.
But if they go out for a concussion, you get a lot of that taken off now. But I mean, you still don't get the player. But who says it's one and done?
Yeah.
That's you Dr. Baz. Is it?
I've got a medical certificate. Anyway, we've got one more question. We'll talk about all these off-season targets in a lot more detail on further pods. But last question from Jason Stone, who says, a nice bit of positivity to wrap up the pod, Chief. I genuinely believe it's closer than we think. A little bit more confidence and reward for effort and look out. Our midfield have belief now. Our forward line has depth. An X factor, we just need to grow 1 or 2 big defenders in the side with Arch, Stiffy, Goda and Elmac coming back whilst Chom, Dawson and Whitlock are developing. Great way to finish the season. How good will Trembath and Foss be after a full pre-season?
Yeah, fantastic.
How good's Foss? He might be... I said a couple of weeks ago he might be close to my favourite. I think he's going to be co-favourite.
Yep.
With Cam Zerha being others. But long-time listeners would know.
Yes.
But how good's Foss?
He's awesome. And that's why at pick 2, you take the best.
Yeah, anyway.
We don't have to worry about it this year.
No, don't.
We've got the best in Matty Whitlock.
Yes. Right, thanks again for your continued support, boners. If you want to support the pod in a non-financial way, please hit subscribe, like, tell a friend, follow the pod. Stay tuned to the socials for our questions as well. Some of the content we've got coming up, obviously you've spoken about the reviews that will be coming. We'll be reviewing the season, the players, the game style, all that stuff. Plenty of AFLW content still coming. The girls had a monster win. Jazzy Garner took the absolute PI double five today.
And Croc took her off.
Yeah,
with 2 minutes to go.
We'll talk about that. Don't worry. He's going to call.
Boy.
He might be on the watch list.
Boy.
Premiership coach, 16 wins in a row. But,
Yeah.
take the coat off. Where was I? And then plenty of off-season content coming as well. So stay with us. Thanks for your continued support. Until next time.
Kana Kangas.
Gurus!